Good evening, everyone. I'm your host, Sudip Maiti, Career Accelerator Specialist. Welcome to the Classroom to Boardroom Talk Show. And this is the episode number 39. And today we have called one of the eminent person who is a by profession IT professional. He loves to mentor the fresh entrepreneur and la- he is by profession IT. He holds the BTech degree in computers, had been awarded the best employee title in his work tenure with the Robert Boss, and the prestigious the Manthan Award in his current firm. And he also holds the PG diploma from CDAC on advanced computing. So let me welcome with thunderous rounds of applause Mr. Deepak Chaurasia in this particular talk show. Let's hear from him. And today we will talk about the India's cloud computing scope, salary, certification, and job sectors. In this topic, we will talk about, and Deepak has a vast experience in the IT profession, and he can explain particular things very well. So that if you have any particular query related to the cloud computing, so you can ask him, or in future also if you want to connect with him, you can directly connect with him through LinkedIn, or might be you can connect with him through Facebook. He is available, or either way you can connect with me directly and I can reach out to him to clarify your query. So uh, welcome Mr. Deepak Chaurasia in this particular talk show. Yeah, would you mind to introduce yourself?
Thanks, Sudeep, for providing me this opportunity to share my thought on your platform. And first of all, I want to congratulate you that you are doing this because this is really something which is great. Because when someone pass out from the college, for them this is the first and biggest struggle that how they land up their first job. So really, you are doing a great thing, providing people opportunity to learn via this show. So yes, already you have introduced about me. So I have almost 17 to 18 year of experience in IT, and I have worked in the multiple jobs. And currently, the company which I am working almost from last 15 year, where I work on the cloud backup domain. And except that, I create the content like you on YouTube, and I also mentor the people who want to start their own business, or they want to create their own product, to help them, support them to build the MVP, the any minimum viable product what they want to have. So this is a small intro about me. Yeah, Sudeep.
Thank you Deepak. We can move forward to the different questionnaires on behalf of the people exactly. So I want to ask you the few query,
Yeah.
and hopefully, so those who are listening to us, if you have any particular query on top of this, you can pitching in between. You can write down in the comment box, and you can ask us so that the Deepak can answer to your query. So before moving into the exact topic, so I believe so, Mr. Deepak. So if you can share your journey, how you reached to that particular goal where you are today.
Okay, Sudeep, thanks for providing me this opportunity to share my life experience. So basically, I belongs to a humble background, and I am also a middle class guy. So my journey is not very much different from any middle class person who has reached to this level. So I started from my schooling, which I have done my native, and after that. In my family we are almost four siblings, three brother and a sister, and my father had more faith on me because I was quite studious in my studies. And after 10th, when I had to choose a stream, obviously I went for PCM, because that time there was, we hardly had some understanding what to choose. We was always choosing what our friends was choosing, and that was the same way I have done. And I after finished my 12th with the first class marks, and after that I again did the same thing. Most of my friends was telling we will do BTech, and I started working, started doing for the preparation for the competitive exams, and I got a seat in the Agra, from where I did my BTech in computers. And after doing the BTech, I realized the communication was very important factor, which was important, and I was a Hindi medium guy, so my BTech was quite ups and down. I was a backbencher because I was scared that if some teacher says me to stand up and ask me some questions, I cannot reply in English. So that was the biggest struggle what I had in my BTech. And after BTech, I did not had any campus. I did not have any job due to that. Then after that, we thought what to do because we was not at all able to speak even single sentence of English. So we few friend decided let us go to some state where we our regional language is not there, so that we are forced to speak in English. And that's why we headed towards south, and we went to Hyderabad, and there we spent quite some time and we learned little bit English. And there I did a teaching job for some time. And then we started preparing for the CDEC. And after doing the CDEC, we got a campus interview. And let me tell you, in the CDEC, their full focus was only to improve our technical skills. So no one was bothered on about communication skill even there. So what happened after CDEC, I got a chance to sit in the campus. I have given almost 20 interviews, and most of the interviews I have crossed all technical rounds, and I was thrown out in the HR round. Luckily, there was a company who did not take HR round, and I got selected in that company, and I started my career from that company. And that company gave me the opportunity to start my journey. And I realized as soon as you start working in a corporate setup, automatically you start learning the language. I even did not understand when I started speaking a good English. Okay. And that was the thing. And after that, the things started becoming smooth. I started as a test engineer for 1.5 year, and then I moved to development. I worked in the Robert Bosch for some time, and then I started working in the cloud backup domain, which I'm working from last 14 to 15 years. So this is a small journey about me, how I reached till here, where am I today. So we worked on multiple projects, a lot of projects from scratch in this cloud backup domain. Even from the protocol level to development level to everything we have done. Okay, so that is what overall the journey is.
Great, great journey, Deepak. Yeah.
Thanks,
So,
Sudeep.
just as today's topic is the related to the cloud computing, so I just have a few basic queries. So, if you can clarify those things, so that would be really helpful for the people, those who are listening to us.
Yeah, sure, Sudeep.
So, do you think that if you have to land to the cloud computing, that
Hmm.
particular technology, so
Hmm.
do you think that the any kind of the programming language or might be the scripting language the person needs to know, or the
Hmm.
anyone can move into the cloud?
So when we tell cloud, before we understand what kind of technologies are required to learn, we should understand what is actually cloud, because cloud
Mm,
is a very vast term. So if
mm,
we ask anyone who is not technical and we ask what is cloud, they may tell the cloud in sky. That is only cloud for them. So for
correct.
technical people, is still they still have the confusion what is cloud. So cloud is something. It is a virtual storage space which has been made available for you as a pay as you go setup. So you pay for the uses what you make use of. So now that storage space, what way you use it makes the different cloud technology. So now if you are using that storage space to keep your data, then it is a cloud backup technology. If you are using that storage space for the computational power, so that storage space is providing you the infrastructure, IT resources, then in that case it becomes the cloud computing. Okay. And these are the two main things, except that now with these there are few technologies have emerged due to these technologies. Now cloud computing is there, so due to that cloud security is there, because due to having the huge cloud IT infrastructure, you need to understand how to set up those things such way that security is taken care. So there is a field of cloud security also. And because cloud security is there, due to that there is one more field of cloud security automation. So if you want to learn about that, how to set up that such tools which can take care of cloud security automatically, so that is the another stream. So these are 3 to 4 technologies, or you tell streams, which people try to get a job in: cloud computing or cloud backup or cloud security or cloud security automation. Okay.
Okay.
So then the
Okay.
if you say about the technology what people need to learn, it depends which technology they want to work on. Okay. That is what
Okay.
it depends on. So
Okay. So there are
so do,
multiple clouds are there, exactly. So the Amazon is there as well as the
so yeah,
Microsoft
so
is
when
there.
you tell multiple cloud, it's not about, yeah, it's not about multiple cloud. Yes, there are multiple cloud infrastructure. So what happens, why this so if you want to make a career in cloud computing specifically.
Mhm.
Okay. And when you say
Mhm.
cloud computing management engineer. Okay, so where you
Mhm.
are responsible to set up the cloud for your client and take care of that. So for that you do not need any specific BTech or BE degree. Okay, you can have the certifications what these specific infrastructures company who are giving the infrastructure, they are providing the certificate. So there is a Amazon who is giving this cloud computing infrastructure. Your Microsoft is there, Google is there, even IBM gives
Mhm.
V3 cloud. So every company which provides their own infrastructure in cloud, which people can use as pay and as you go, they provide a certification so that people can learn how to set up these things and how to do. So for these kind of skill, if you really want to become that particular support engineer, management engineer, for that you do not need any B degree. You need to do a
But it's
certification
almost
and
like a, it's almost like a, I would say it's a administration part
yeah,
of the
it
cloud.
it's not like totally admission. Yeah, little bit technical stuff means you need to understand how every component works. Yes, it's a kind of administration, but it's a quite responsible job, because any normal
Mhm.
person who want to set up his things in cloud, they may not get understanding how to do that, and those things are little complicated also. But no
Okay.
coding skill and programming skills are required usually.
Oh, that's great then. Yeah. So those who are listening to us exactly. So if you want to build your career in cloud computing, there is no technical skill is required. So you can do the certification and you can jump into the cloud computing. So that's the thing. So which one is the best in your opinion? So AWS or the Azure? Which one
Mhm.
is the best? The Google
So
Cloud? Yeah.
so now when you say which one is the best, AWS or Microsoft Azure or Google Cloud or IBM Cloud V3, see,
Yeah.
everyone actually is good in what they are doing. Because if you think Google, it's a very big company, so they are
Mhm.
giving their own expertise as in terms of infrastructure which you can utilize. Same way Amazon, same way Microsoft. But if you ask my personal opinion, I love AWS because it's quite easy to use than others. But if you ask in terms of salary and all, they almost uh, almost they get almost equal salary. Do you work in the Google Cloud or Microsoft Azure, or you work in the AWS? But yes, AWS is more easy to set up, to use. What that is what is my personal opinion.
And the vast implementation for the AWS is more as compared to the other cloud. What do you think?
Implementation, I did not get. You are telling implementation of what
Uh,
means to set up?
yeah, yeah.
No, that's why AWS easy. Easy means its setups are quite easy, and the way their documentation part is, the way their flow is there, things are quite easy to do. Microsoft
Okay.
Azure and Google Cloud is more complex and critical to set up, means tough to set up in comparison to AWS.
Okay. Okay. So if someone is a fresher, so they can jump into the cloud computing then. So
Mhm.
there is no nothing is required as
So,
you told. Yeah.
hmm. So if you say someone is a fresher, so first what I want to say, they should understand in the cloud technology which technology they want to work on. If they want to work on
Mhm.
as a cloud computing management engineer or support engineer, okay, solution
Mhm.
architect, then they do
Mhm.
not need any programming skill. They can go for the certification. AWS have its own certification, Microsoft. So they need to decide which company really they connect with. If they want to work with AWS infrastructure, cloud computing infrastructure, then they have to do AWS certification. If Microsoft, then Microsoft. Or if they want to do with the Google Cloud, then with the Google Cloud. If
So
they want to
is
become
it
specific,
possible someone did the certification in
hmm,
AWS?
hmm.
They can jump into the Azure? Is it
I don't think so. If technically we think it's not possible, because see, you did see AWS have its own infrastructure. Why they give the certification? So that someone can learn how their infrastructure works. So the
okay?
Azure infrastructure fundamentals could be same, but the way the
Mhm.
setups will happen, the way the things will happen, the way the security rules may be there, that may not be the same. Okay, so
Okay.
having a AWS, you may not able to eligible or not able to apply for the Microsoft cloud
Okay.
infrastructure,
Mhm.
cloud
Okay.
computing jobs or Google Cloud jobs. It's same like
Mhm.
we do in we are good in Python and someone needs a developer in Python, so they may
Mhm.
not take a Perl resource. They may take,
Got it.
if they are considering as a fresher requirement, let that guy will learn because he already worked in that kind of environment. So that
Got
could
it.
be the thing.
Got it. Got it. Maybe the in future they can jump into the things, but as the basic concept is same. If he
Yes,
has the learning capability, he can learn the things very quickly and he can jump into the some other platform also.
correct, correct. Yes, they can
Okay.
jump.
Okay. And what kind of the salary, basic salary, the people can expect for a fresher into this cloud
Mhm.
computing platform?
So cloud computing is uh, quite promising stream, or quite promising technology to work in, and anyone who is having a 0 to 3 year experience can expect somewhere 8 to 10 lakhs. Okay, but the
No.
salary part is always a kind of dynamic, and it's not kind of fixed that way. Means if you
Mhm.
ask me, on an average, I have seen the people from 0 to 3 year, they are able to get 8 to 10 lakhs, or someone who is having 4 to 7 year of experience, they are able to get easily from 11 to 18 lakhs. But if you are really
Mm.
good in your work, what you do, if you are getting more things on table, you can always have a more better salary than the market average salary.
Okay. Okay. And also, just
Yes,
just
yes.
want to know, as you told already, I believe, so you have already explained the different kind of the cloud computing certifications. Like
Mhm.
AWS is the separate certificate. So, which one is the cheaper exactly in terms of the
Okay.
certification?
So if I
AWS,
tell you,
Azure.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the certification wise, you have the certification for cloud computing, you have the
Mhm.
certification for cloud computing security, you have the
Mhm.
certification for cloud computing security automation. Because so the company obviously who have so big infrastructure, they want people to learn so that they can work for other clients. So they have the certification for cloud computing. Now if they are doing cloud computing, they should have a good understanding how to make it more secure. So they have a certification for cloud security also. So the certifications, like for AWS, you have AWS solution architect associate. For Microsoft, you have a Microsoft certified Azure fundamentals. For Google, you have Google associate cloud engineer. And for IBM cloud V3, you have IBM certified technical advocate. Okay, so these are
Okay.
the certification for cloud computing for management engineer, someone who is creating the setup for others and handling them. These certification somewhere range about between $150 to $200 every certification, this one.
Okay.
And
Okay.
when if you want to know about the security certification, the same companies have their certification for security also. Like AWS have AWS certified security certification, Microsoft have Microsoft certified Azure security engineer associate certification, Google have Google professional cloud security engineer certification. And so these are three certifications which are there, if
Okay.
whatever you want to know. But if you want to increase your level in security engineer, then there are some generic certifications which teaches you the fundamentals and the core concepts of the cloud computing security aspects. Okay, so these are
Okay.
very good certification, and they range also little bit more money you have to pay for them. There is a CCSP, which is certified cloud security professional certification, and there is a
Okay.
CCSK, which is a certificate of cloud security knowledge. These both certification will range somewhere 400 to $600. Okay, but these
Okay.
certifications will give you the extra edge to the other security engineers. Okay.
Got it. Got it. So Gaurav is asking some questions, Mr.
Yeah.
Deepak. So
Okay.
if you can read
Okay.
these questions, yeah.
Okay. So, Gaurav Verma, I understand that career in cloud is mostly in administration or infra area. Is there any scope for programmers as well? Okay. So as I told that obviously the in the cloud infrastructure, mostly you have lot of jobs in terms of, obviously, in terms of administrator part. Okay. But
Mhm.
if you really want to become a developer, then obviously you should have a BTech degree, and you can only try to apply in these companies or other companies who have their own infrastructure. For that, you may not require the certification as such, because those certification may not help that much in a development scope. So you can obviously get the development job, but for that you obviously has to understand, and you have to have those kind of skills. Means you have to have proper BTech degree, you should have some sort of skills, so that you can apply in the Amazon or Microsoft or Google. And if they are really hiring for those particular cloud computing developers, because there is a developer requirements, but yes, the requirements are low, as much I have seen that. So the scope is there,
Okay.
not like that, but scope is lesser than administrator part.
Got it. Got it. So Gaurav, so I believe so you got your answer. So if you have any other query other than this, so just write down the comments.
Mhm.
So just Mr. Deepak, just want to know
Mhm.
what could be the demand maybe the next 5 years. Do you think that this particular the cloud computing technology, so how long it will be sustained in the market, so that the
So,
people can, yeah, what is
okay.
your assumption based on the
Mhm.
industry expert experience and all?
Cloud computing is here to stay. It's not about 5 year or 10 year or 15 year. That is what is
Mhm.
my belief says. The reason is, think of 10 year down the line, or 12 year down the line, when we was creating any software, it was taking 1 year, 1.5 year to do that software. What was the reason? Because the company was developing everything in house. They need their own infrastructure, they need their own development team, own verification team, everything. And that requires a lot of work. Then now we are almost in zenith area age, and in this age the things are happening very fast. Now the same product what we developed there in 1.5 year, now we are able to do in 3 months or 4 months. The reason is, now these kind of companies are giving their knowledge, their expertise to us as a pay as you go basis. So what happens, you have the ready made infrastructure which you can use. You just need to focus on your software and the development part. And this way what happens, first thing, you are able to use the capabilities of such big companies. Can you ever think that you can develop the infrastructure like Amazon or like Microsoft or Google? May not be possible. So they have opened their infrastructure as a platform for everyone, and you are paying a lesser cost. The reason is because it is available for all as a generic product. So something, when it becomes a generic product, even the charges will not be so high. Okay, so this is here to stay, because any product you see everywhere, the cloud is important. Now when we are, even now when we are doing this meeting, it is going somewhere to the cloud, and from there it is getting broadcast to others. YouTube
Correct.
or your social media platforms or Google searches, everywhere cloud computing is there or cloud storage is there. So without cloud, we cannot live in this kind of world what we are currently living, where everything is accessible anywhere. So it is here to stay, obviously.
So this particular the cloud platform, so the people have to find their job,
Mhm.
they have to only target the IT sector or the any other sector that also they can find the job basically in terms of.
So obviously, when you are looking the job in cloud, you have to target IT. If you are looking development jobs, if you are like looking
Mhm.
administrator kind of job, then you can learn something, and based on that you can work as a freelancer, or you can give the services to other clients, like
Mhm.
AWS or these certifications. When you take, you can obviously do these things also for the people. If you want to create some backup solution for someone, there is a lot of open source sources are available. You learn how these things connects together, and how you can create a product, and you can give your services. You can create your own cloud based apps. So there are a lot of things which can be done, where you do not specifically take the job. You learn the skill, acquire things, how things works together as a system, and then you give your services and a charge for that. So that is what you can do.
Got it. So, in your opinion, so which one is the best exactly, the Azure cloud or the AWS? So, mostly I could see this the as you told already,
Hmm.
the AWS certification is much more easier as compared to the Azure one. In
Hmm.
terms of that, the infrastructure is the bit complex as compared to the AWS. So, in terms of the job perspectives, which certification will be give the more weightage as compared to the other one?
Okay, so if you ask me in terms of usage wise, AWS looks easier than the Microsoft Azure. But if you ask me job prospect as a
Mm-hmm.
administrator, it is having almost same job prospect. It is having almost same sort of salary. You may get for Microsoft Azure maybe starting somewhere 6 lakhs or something. Same you will get for AWS 6.5 lakhs as a starting. So the salary
Okay.
wise there is not much difference. But yes, learning curve is there. Learning curve is less in the AWS, more in the Microsoft and Google and IBM. You know, the AWS is here from far longer time than these the infrastructure what others are having. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
that's why maybe they are more easy to learn.
Got it. Got it. So, yeah, so anyone, those who are listening to us, if you have any other query related to the cloud computing, you can ask here, or might be so we can move into the some other topic.
Yeah, otherwise I can add one more thing. If you
Yeah.
Now, if you really want the job in the cloud in the development space, maybe
Hmm.
cloud backup or
Hmm.
cloud computing developer. So first thing
Hmm.
what you can do, you need to try to set yourself apart from the others as a fresher. Okay, because see,
Correct.
every company want the resources how ready he is to utilize. Okay, so if you are specifically looking, let's say the job in the cloud backup domain, so what you need to do, you need to first understand how to play with the files, because the cloud backup domain is all about the data, and data is always is in terms of file. So you need to make sure you have that much knowledge how to read the file, how to write the file, how to synchronously write the file, and how to read the file block by block. So try to play around with the file so much that you are very flexible. What happens,
Hmm.
lot of new commerce freshers, when they come and we take the interview, they hardly know only how to open the file, read the file, write the file, but not like if we ask them 200 or 100 GB file, how you will read. Or so you play around with little bit of the file. The next step what you need to do, in which company you are looking job, which kind of technology they're working, if you can understand that, then better in that technology. If you can do some hobby project, something like little bit backup, restore, something which you have. So when that thing
Hmm.
you show in your resume and you go to the go for an interview, you get a chance for interview, you always have the edge than others who never did anything. Okay, so the chances of
Hmm.
getting job on that basis will be higher.
Got it. Got it. In terms of this, the cloud computing today's scenario. So as you know that the few areas in India, so they're not that way the booming in terms of the IT industry. Like
Okay.
a eastern part of the India as well as the northern part, I believe the Noida and Gurgaon is now
Mhm,
booming. Almost
mhm,
almost all the IT companies they have established.
mhm.
But yeah, so do you think that the people has to shift to that particular work locations to find out the job, or they can what is your suggestions for the freshers to find out their suitable openings, as well
Okay.
as for the certification they have to go to that particular different city for the
Mhm.
certification, or from the home also they can do the certification and for the job purpose they can move? What do
Okay.
you say?
So I think most of the certification must be online, as much my knowledge says, and you can
Hmm.
sit in your home and you should able to do the certification. As much as
Hmm.
job is concerned, if you can, there is a nowadays remote jobs are available. Lot of remote jobs are available. I have seen the people who are sitting in Lucknow and working for US, Australia, these kind of countries. So there is an
Hmm.
opportunity you can work sitting in your home in some other country, or in your country in some other state. But yes, if you are really not getting the job and it is taking time, and you want to really try your hand directly going in the field, then obviously you have to go in such city where you have lot of companies. Because obviously sitting in Lucknow or Chandigarh, you may get some companies like Infosys, maybe HP, one two three companies here and there you may get. So, and you may not get the cloud companies, they may not have even the cloud infrastructure there. So try
Got
the remote jobs. If you get, that's well and good. Otherwise you should go to such place where lot of companies are established.
Better, yeah. What I would suggest exactly, start with the small company so that you can learn a lot of things. Because if you jump into the bigger company, you might get the good salary initial part,
Uh,
but the learning curve will be the very less. Because the one job there will be the multiple people will be there, and your scope of learning will be very less always.
yes, yes, that's very much correct, that you need to find a company where you can explore your, and you can really learn a lot of things, because initial years it's very important that we learn, then only we
Correct,
can grow further.
correct. Yeah. So lastly, so Mr. Deepak, so I want to ask you, so what kind of the message you want to give to the audience, those who are listening to us till the time?
Okay, so as our talk show is classroom to boardroom, so I'm just representing mostly the freshers. So for them, I have one thing, that now the time is like that, that you have lot of information available, everything is there in your hand. So utilize your time. Don't loosen your heart if you're giving few interviews and getting failed. And the first thing what I want, that whenever you give an interview and you fail, you should actually think that what was the reason you failed. Because if you just keep giving interview blindly and you are not improving after every interview what was the reason you failed, then you can never land at your dream job. So always make sure you consistently try, but when you are trying, you consistently keep improving. And accept that I want that you people should develop few soft skills which are very important for you to grow very fast professionally. Like there are some things like integrity you should have. So what you say, that you do. The first thing, work ethics, understand that what is the priority. Is the work is priority or your personal thing is priority? When both things are there, because I have seen the people, they normally give their very mediocre personal work more priority than the critical task. Sometimes that should not be the case. And have the commitments, what you promise, try to deliver that. And if you are unable to do that, have the transparency. If you are unable to do something, reach to your superior and try to make them clear that what is the reason you are unable to do these things. So develop these few skills and have the learning attitude. Keep learning so that you keep growing, be it for finding your first job or keep going up in the ladder. So this is the small things what I just wanted to give the message. And if you do these things, I am sure you will get the job, because I was also, I struggled hard in everything. But if we have these basic qualities, we grow very very well. That is what I can say from my own experience.
Absolutely, absolutely, Mr. Deepak. Yeah. So those who are listening to us, so we are almost the end of this discussions. So those who are listening to us, I want to thanks each one of you. If you have any particular query related to the cloud computing, just reach out to Deepak. He is available in LinkedIn. Otherwise, you can reach out to me. I can connect with him, so I can clarify your query. So we are closing this particular talk show here, and thank you, Mr. Deepak, so sharing the stage with me
Thanks,
here in
Sudeep.
this
Thanks
particular talk
for
show.
giving me an
Thank
opportunity.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, guys. Take care. Close किया.